Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Spectrum Arena, Warrington for the Lada Classic, the tournament that last year saw Steve Davies achieve his maximum break of 147, and this year has been given enhanced status by boosting the prize money to £65,000. All the top players are here, 16 of them. Now, first of all, let me bring you up to date with what happened this afternoon, the match between the 1980 world champion Cliff Thorburn and the Welsh professional Cliff Wilson. When we left play this afternoon, Thorburn was leading by 4 frames to 2. Wilson came back to win the 7th frame, but then in frame 8, the Canadian was once again in dominant mood. He needed it for victory, and he was so far ahead that Cliff Wilson realized it was for him a lost cause. He good-naturedly jogged Thorburn's cue. That was his manner of concession. And so with a score at 73 points to 38, Cliff Thorburn winning the tie by 5 frames to 3 and through to the quarterfinals. And maybe not a bad bet for the title at 10 to 1. Well, now the first round ties started yesterday. Last evening, the top seed Ray Reardon went out to John Spencer. David Taylor plays Jimmy White tomorrow. Steve Davis is in action against Dennis Taylor on Wednesday. Eddie Charlton won his tie yesterday against John Virgo. Tony Knowles plays the young Canadian Kirk Stevens. Cliff Thorburn, as you've just heard, won his match. Tonight, it's Terry Griffiths against Doug Mountjoy. And tomorrow evening, the world champion Alex Higgins playing Bill Werbanyuk of Canada. So the match tonight then saw the defending champion Terry Griffiths up against his old mate from the Valleys, Doug Mountjoy. And the last time we saw them together was as partners in the World Doubles Championship just before Christmas. Now they were in opposition over the best of 9 frames, and we're going to join it for the first. Commentary by Mark Wildman, the new UK professional billiards champion, and Ray Edmonds.
Doug Mountjoy, current Welsh professional champion, breaks off in this first round tie of the Lada Classic 1983. And his opponent, Terry Griffiths, another Welshman, holder of last year's Lada Championship. Very good friends, these two. They were partners in the recent World Doubles, losing in the final. Very early in this contest, Terry Griffiths asked referee Bob Sconce to give the white ball a clean. He'd spotted a speck of dirt, a foreign body or something on it.
And that missed long pot red by Terry gives Doug Mountjoy a chance of potting this red along the top cushion.
One. Eight. Eight, Doug Mountjoy.
And Doug really ought to have made more than 8 off that chance. Given Terry Griffiths a fairly comfortable red into the right-hand corner.
One. One, Teddy Griffiths.
Doug Mountjoy has an option to pop this slowly into the middle pocket. Or he might take it into the top.
One.
Or will he try to smash the cluster of reds with this pot flag? Well, they're certainly well spread.
8. Doug Mountjoy.
Well, both players missing chances in the early stages of this first frame. That was a rather disastrous miscue by Terry Griffiths, and Doug Mountjoy has an assortment of reds to choose from. Running up for the pink.
1. Seven. 8. 14. 15.
So yet again, Bob Sconce is asked to clean one of the balls. On this occasion it's the pink, but Doug will be reflecting that he's built up a very
15.
useful lead in this first frame and in good position to pop this pink with easy position available.
$21. 22. 29. 30.
Just slightly underhit that one, just a bit the wrong side of the pink. Got to take the white in and out of the baulk area. Well, he didn't. He elected to play on that red between the blue and the green into the left-hand corner, but
36.
it's a bit too hard. Left himself a long one now. Not easy. The lead now 59 points.
44.
So another couple of these reds and a colour should really put this frame safe for Doug.
45. 51. 52.
'Well, I have
59.
a feeling that Mountjoy tried to disturb those two reds in potting that black. He failed to do that, but he still, of course, has a relatively easy red into this left-hand top pocket.
60.
We'll probably try and get onto that red that's between the green and the blue now. And that looks perfect.
67.
Terry there, reflecting a little. He's not really got into this game yet. 2 missed chances, 1 bad miscue. But still very early in the match, of course.
68. 68.
So, a very nice 68 break, and Doug Mountjoy puts this game beyond any shadow of a doubt in his favour.
Yes, the frame virtually dead at that point as far as Griffiths was concerned. He tried a few practice shots, but he couldn't alter the conclusion. It was inevitable. Mountjoy off to a fine start and all against the odds. Join us after the break.
One bomb a loo bomb a loud bomb bomb tutti frutti, on Rudy, tutti frutti, on Rudy, tutti frutti, on Rudy, tutti frutti, on Rudy, tutti frutti, on Rudy. One bomb a loo bomb a loud bomb bomb.
A hazardous search for blackcurrants has had a happy ending. Blackcurrant flavoured Junior Lemsip.
If you want a few roses for the house from time to time, you don't pull up the whole bush. You let it go on growing and take what it yields. That's how National Savings Income Bonds work. With £5,000 to plant, you get a regular monthly income of £47.91 gross at the current rate of interest. And your capital stays totally secure, keeping the income going. National Savings Income Bonds. If you don't see the advertisement in your paper, ring 200 0200 and we'll send you details.
She's a lovely companion. I never realised what it was like to have a cat. She prefers whiskers to anything. When I open a tin of whiskers for Sammy Cat, the first thing I see is the fact that the tin is really full. It's real good, meaty value. It's all what it says it is. Worth the money all the time. Whiskers has to be economical because there is never a speck left on the plate. I wouldn't change from Whiskers. I'm totally convinced that it's the best cat food anyone can buy.
Whiskers Supermeat, in tests, 8 out of 10 owners who expressed a preference said their cats preferred it.
Indigestion? Reach for Rennie. Now in handy strips for on-the-spot relief. Rennie.
In Australia, we really know how to look after the Sheilas.
And welcome back to Snooker from the Lada Classic and the continuation of the first round tie between the defending champion Terry Griffiths and Doug Mountjoy, a 40-to-1 outsider for the title. Well, Doug took the first set. He was looking very confident, and he followed that up with victory in the second and third. Terry making so many uncharacteristic mistakes. Let's rejoin it now for frame 4.
Well, he didn't play to hit this red he's going to hit, I can assure you. Gets a round of applause from the audience. He gives a wry smile, but he has left Terry half a chance here. Not easy to get position, but certainly a possible pot. Referee Bob Scont's getting the half put out. He can't reach it with the ordinary rest. Having to use this long cue and long rest makes the shot that little bit more difficult. As you can see, not able to do a lot with that white other than just pot it and leave himself room to get his hand on the table. And go for this long blue, but no position from it afterwards. And that's about the first time Terry's been in the lead since this match started. 6 points to 0 in front. Just a safety shot to play now.
Six, Terry Griffiths.
Well, Doug Mountjoy has been extremely fortunate. He had rather a wild thrash at that one. And that white has found the only place on the table that makes potting a red very unlikely. I suppose Terry could possibly cut the one in near the right pocket, but it's an extremely fine shot. He really couldn't control the white ball.
Oh, Doug's having a long, hard look at this one, but I'm sure the thin contact off the red near the pink and the white down to baulk is the shot he'll play. Just left Terry a possible chance into the left-hand corner. Shot for nothing, white down the other end of the table. Well, hit it a bit thick and heavy, and now he's left Doug a reasonable chance here. Pots this one into the right-hand corner, could finish perfectly on the black, and then really in business again.
One.
Well, there was a little snatch in that cue action. I sense that Doug, having taken the first 3 frames and needing only 2, is getting conscious that the victory post is not very far away, and just affected his cue action on that shot.
One does Mountjoy.
And again, a little shake of the head. I don't think he's come far enough on that for that black. Pink into the middle pocket, but a much more difficult shot. Could be very beneficial to him if it goes in, though, because he will have good position.
Seven. Eight.
And usually this is the kind of position that
14.
Terry Griffiths capitalises on.
15.
Chance to go into the reds off this pink if he wants to.
$21.
And again, it looks as if he hasn't had the best of fortune. Another 1/4 of an inch and he could have got that red into the middle pocket. At the top of that little cluster there. Having another look, but certainly it looks very tight from our position.
$21. Eddie Griffiths.
Terry a bit unfortunate there. Tried a double, come safety shot. If that red had dropped in, perfect position on the blue. If If it didn't, well, reasonably safe.
Well, that's another good pressure long shot by Doug Mountjoy. There's a right on the right-hand side of that cluster of reds that pops into the right-hand pocket.
9.
Probably going to the reds now. There's obviously one that goes amongst others.
15. 16. 22. 23.
Obviously that pink goes into the right-hand corner. Should be able to get perfect on the either of the two reds just behind the pink into the same pocket. Takes the lead, 30 points to 27. That one just a little bit nearer the side cushion than he would have liked, but shouldn't have any problem on potting the black and running through for the red near the brown.
$37. 38.
'So Doug Mountjoy now 12 points in the lead in this fourth frame, and I think he's probably spotted a plant with two reds along this left-hand side cushion. So if he does decide to play safe, he's got to make sure that they aren't left on.
Normally he'd have not too much trouble potting this pink, but having to use the rest makes it that much harder. So quite a pressure shot, this one, because it could well put him in a position to go 4-0 up. Had a look up at the gods there. He wasn't sure whether it was in, but it fell.
44. Doug Mountjoy.
Terry Griffiths now 18 points behind in this fourth frame. Desperately needs to win this one to get back into the match, and really a bit of a good chance here. Red over the pocket, left-hand corner. Shouldn't have any trouble getting position on either the black or the pink. Left himself a bit straight on the black, so might elect to take the pink into the middle and then have a go at this plant of these two reds down this left-hand cushion. But a little twixt them between them all, actually.
Eight.
Not a Terry Griffiths-like shot, that one. Normally he's so very positive, so he's got to really get this white safe down the balk end this time.
8, Terry Griffiths.
And that's pretty good. That's judged to perfection, I feel. I don't think Doug can get at the plant into this left-hand corner. And he's snookered behind the green on the other red, so. Now I've got to get a good safety shot out of this. Bending the white round, having a go at that plant. Bang. Yes. And really, that was a terrific shot. It's the man in form, very confident, and now a good chance to win this frame and go into a very, very useful 4-0 lead.
Never want to say things like that, Ray. Dear oh dear, what a chance Doug Mountjoy has missed there. So if Terry can just keep his composure, all the balls in easily potable positions.
Eight. Nine.
And I'm sure if Terry Griffiths does pinch this frame from this position, Doug Mountjoy will be remembering that black he missed during the interval. Another little bit of foreign body or dirt on the white. Very crucial, because your eye can be taken by that piece of dirt when you're queuing up to play the shot. And again, he's not quite as he'd liked. He still should pot this yellow, but
15.
He's got to use the rest. He's gone into a 4-point lead now.
17.
Colours to the blue should see him home safe, but if he gets that far, I'm sure he'll clear the lot.
20.
Just checking the scoreboard. Oh, he doesn't believe the one on the right, so he's looking at the one on the left.
$24.
And Terry Griffiths with a very nice 35 clearance, capitalising on a very bad mistake by Doug Mountjoy. Reduces the deficit to 2 frames. He trails 3 frames to 1 at the interval.
There are 8 vitamins, 2 minerals in crooks, 1 a day. 8 vitamins, 2 minerals in crooks, 1 a day. For youngers, just to make sure. For old ones whose appetite is poor, and soon to be mamas who may need a little more. There are 8 vitamins, 2 minerals in crooks.
Crooks 1 a day multivitamins. Trial price 99p.
The Burnley Building Society, highly respected since 1850 for its standards of customer service. The Provincial Building Society, one of the fastest growing, most dynamic societies in Britain. These 2 famous names have come together in the biggest national building society merger ever seen in Britain. National and provincial, more strength to help more people.
We're the national and provincial, we're today's society, but with a lot of northern history in our bones. We're the biggest new society that Britain's ever seen, with more strength to help more people own more homes. We're the national and provincial, we're today's society, with more strength to help more people own more homes.
Do you want to make home maintenance improvements really easy? With the new weekly publication Fix It, you'll be surprised how simple it is. In issue 1, how a block of wood can save hours when laying vinyl, how to saw melamine without chipping it, and how to avoid costly mistakes when buying materials.
Too naughty, mate. Got any piranha?
It shows how you could unblock a toilet in 30 seconds, how few tools you really need, and which one is best for which job. Get Fix It and make it easy to maintain your home and its value.
Will it be chips or jacket spuds? Will it be salad or frozen peas?
Will it be mushrooms, fried onion rings?
You'll have to wait and see.
Bird's Eye introduced steakhouse grills. Pure ground beef you cook like a steak and serve like a steak. What will you give your old man with his steakhouse grill?
Oh, it's chips, it's chips. We hope it's chips, it's chips.
New Bird's Eye steakhouse grills. A supper worth singing for.
This straight-grain briar took root in the mountains of the Mediterranean 100 years ago. After spending a further 3 years in a seasoning room and many hours in the hands of a craftsman, it is only now ready for smoking. It could cost you well over £50. Mellow Virginia, which is neither harsh nor mild but cool and satisfying, has received similar consideration, but fortunately costs rather less to buy.
And welcome back to the Lada, with Terry Griffiths defending his title and very much up against it in his first round tie against Doug Mountjoy. Doug was displaying a very welcome return to form for him, and he came back from the interval enjoying a 3 frames to 1 lead. In frame 5, he was in front 17 points to 1, and he was at the table. The commentators this time, Dennis Taylor and John Pulman.
excellent pot from Doug Mountjoy will do his confidence the world of good. Just seemed to be struggling a little bit at the beginning of this frame. Possibly still thinking about the frame before the interval. Missed an easy black and cost him that particular frame. And Doug will be thinking if he can win this frame, it'll put him in a very nice position indeed.
Three.
Certainly not easy to score from this position. The pink and black are still tied up.
Four.
And Doug leaving himself a straight pink into the center pocket.
Ten. $11.
Well, the pink will obviously pot into the corner pocket.
$17.
Another 33 points in front. Well, he's not quite sure the pink will pot, but he's thinking about going down for one of the smaller colors.
$18.
Looked as if it might be the blue into the middle pocket to send the cue ball right around the table to try and come up for one of the reds. May not quite have the angle to be able to do that now. Looks as if he decided on the yellow.
Green. Green ball.
Oh, the green. I didn't think he could get through to the green, but obviously can.
$21.
Doug Mountjoy being very careful there before pulling that green to nominate it, just to make sure that referee Bob Sconce knew exactly the colour that he was playing. Settle any possible doubt.
$21. Doug Mountjoy.
Well, Terry having a little chat to referee Bob Sconce again. Still doesn't seem happy with something. Doug Mountjoy playing some excellent safety shots here. Judged that one to perfection. And that was about the best possible result he could have got from that position. And a very clever shot from Doug Mountjoy. Shot to nothing, as it's known. If he had missed the red, the white was back down from the bottom cushion. Now he has to decide whether to go for a colour or just tickle up behind the green or the brown. He's going for the blue, so this one will have to go in. Well, I think he's heard me.
One, Doug Mountjoy.
And with a 38-point lead and still 3 reds on the table, that was a very sensible shot from Doug Mountjoy. Got to keep the pressure on when you're in front. Try and keep your opponent away from the table.
Well, some applause from the crowd there, but I'm quite certain that Terry didn't play to hit the red in that manner. In fact, it hasn't done him any good at all because he's left Doug Mountjoy with another opportunity here. And a straight red into the middle. Nicely on the pink afterwards.
One.
$45 points in front now. We're just 43 points on the table, so Terry Griffiths requires a snooker at this moment. But I think we'll see this red disappear.
Okay.
That would seem to have put this frame beyond Terry Griffiths' reach.
Twelve. $13. $17. $19.
Just has to bring the cue ball back a couple of inches here.
22.
And Doug Mountjoy has played extremely well in this match, cueing as well as I have seen him do for quite some time.
26. 31. 37.
Doug Mountjoy takes the fifth frame of the match and goes into a 4-frame-to-1 lead, needing just one more frame now for victory.
Well, Doug Mountjoy looking very relaxed, whereas Terry Griffiths had to make an unscheduled visit to the powder room. Well, it may have helped because in frame 6, he took an 8-point-to-0 lead, and we rejoin the action with Doug Mountjoy at the table, needing to win this one for a place in the quarter-final.
And Doug's taking on this long red into the left corner pocket. And where is the cue ball going to finish? Oh, would you believe it? Managed to wangle his way through the pack of reds and into the bottom pocket. Now, could this be a turning point in this match? Sometimes one little shot like that can change the whole thing completely. Terry wouldn't like to be going out in the first round, having won the tournament last year. He's got a lot of work to do if he is to stay in the competition.
One. 8.
And once again, it hasn't come too nicely for him. Things could have been a lot easier than that. The red on into the middle pocket, but by no means an easy one. It's the one he's playing. And that's a good pot.
9.
And once again, out of position. In fact, Terry Griffiths has decided, is telling referee
Terry
Bob
Griffiths
Sconce
foul for Doug Mountjoy.
that he played, in fact, a push stroke there. That's when the tip of the cue ball and the object ball were all in contact at the same moment. Now, nobody saw it, but Terry knew that it had happened and very swartingly admitted that that was a foul. Very sporting gesture, that.
Well, Doug's looking at a possible plant. The balls are about 9 inches apart, which makes it rather difficult. Well, he doesn't want to knock it in with that red, otherwise he'd lose 4. But a very crucial shot coming up here for Doug Mountjoy. Well, that could have been a lot better. Has an easy pot into the right corner. It can only just hit the cue ball on the right-hand side. Makes it a little bit more difficult.
9.
And what an opportunity now for Doug Mountjoy. Not one red in a safe position.
16. 17.
It's a little bit early to say it, but I know Doug will be thinking that he'll be wanting to clinch the frame from this position. And the match, of course.
24.
And the number 1 seed went out last night to John Spencer, 5-3.
25.
So if we lose the defending champion here this evening, well, the tournament's wide open.
$32. 33.
Well, he's just gone a little bit further than he wanted. Wanted to be on the blue. He still can take the blue, but we'll have to take it into the corner pocket.
And decided to take the green. Thing that would have made up his mind there as to whether he can get on to the next red from the green, and he obviously decided that he could, and it looks reasonable then.
36.
Choice of 2 reds here. And Doug goes into a 20-point lead.
$37.
And that's retrieved the situation somewhat. Just enough angle on the blue to be able to come up onto the reds.
$42. 43.
In practice, Doug Mountjoy in this position wouldn't have any problem in clearing the remaining balls up, but it's a different kettle of fish when you're playing in a big tournament like this.
$50.
Doug just had a quick glance at the scoreboard there. He's got a few more reds and colours to get yet before he's safe.
$51.
Just needs one more red after this black to leave Terry Griffiths wanting a snooker.
58. 59.
Well, that puts him, in fact, 43 points in front. There's still a possible 43 left on the table. I can't see a Doug Mountjoy in this mood missing the black off the spot. And Doug will be feeling very pleased with himself at the moment.
66. 66.
Terry Griffiths then, 50 points behind with just 2 reds left on the table. He needs 2 reds, and 2 blacks, 2 snookers, and all the coloured balls to drag this match back from the brink of death.
1.
Rather a formidable task, I would think.
8. 8. Terry Griffiths.
Well, he's just gone a little bit too far with the red. I think Doug can just squeeze past the blue. In fact, he may even be able to pot this. Well, he'll be putting everything into this shot. Well, he may in fact get the snooker out of it. Possible chance of getting a snooker here. He'll be looking to keep the white ball down on the bottom cush, send the red back up to the other end of the table. Well, made a bit of a mess of that one. And that could be the final nail in the coffin of Terry Griffiths in this first major tournament of the season. Would you believe it? Bet Terry can't quite believe that Doug missed that red. Well, Johnny's certainly playing some strange shots at the moment and can't quite figure out. Well, he may possibly be able to get past the blue. It looks pretty tight. Just can't quite get the angle there, but
Foul.
well, I don't
Five,
believe that
Teddy
from
Griffiths.
Doug. It was quite easy if he was snooker to come off the side cushion.
Teddy Griffiths 33, Doug Mountjoy 70.
$35 points behind. There's a possible 35 on the table. You would have to get the red in the center and somehow get the white back up for the black. In fact, the score, I think, was, having another look at it, is 37 points in front. Slight mistake on your screens there. So, in fact, Terry Griffiths still requires one snooker.
One.
So all is not lost yet. The colours are in a very nice situation for snookers.
Well, Terry Griffiths then, 29 points behind with just 27 points on the table. Requiring one snooker in the last 6 colours. It's not quite a snooker. And as you mentioned earlier, John, the last frame is the most difficult one to win, and Doug Mountjoy is finding that correct at the moment. He's had 3 or 4 opportunities of clinching this match, but he's still got a bit of work to do yet. Is it behind the blue? Well, may just be able to get past. If not, he probably just play a little swerve shot to take the cue ball around the blue. In fact, you've got a lovely shot of Terry Griffiths cueing over the pink. Well, that's got a chance. think Doug may just have the right angle to be able to make contact with the yellow by playing the cue ball onto the side cushion just below the middle pocket. Looks to me to be just about the right angle to make contact. And Terry Griffiths certainly putting up a great battle here to stay alive in this match. These two chaps, in fact, were playing as partners a couple of weeks ago in the World Doubles Championship. They are, in fact, very great friends, but there's certainly no loss between them at the moment.
Doug's now thinking, what am I doing in this situation? I should have been back in the dressing room and in the next round. Well, I think he's trying to get between the brown and the green. Well, this looks a little bit impossible to me. Look at this.
Foul.
And now we've got a completely new ball game.
Well, the fact that that green went into the corner pocket and has now been re-spotted, I think has given Terry Griffiths a free ball. And of course he can now win with these last 6 colours.
Pink ball.
Can't snooker behind the pink. Mustn't snooker behind the ball one nominates in that situation. But he's got a snooker, I think, behind the green. And this shouldn't be too difficult to hit, but no way of knowing where the yellow will go. All the colours out in the open apart from the yellow, so very crucial shot this. Very crucial shot.
And this looks like another free ball.
For Teddy Griffiths. Free ball.
A little smile from Terry there. He's enjoying it at the moment.
Well, he's just 21 points behind now with 27 on the table. And he's really come back from the brink here.
And that yellow ball now, John, on the bottom cushion is the key ball to this frame. All the other colours are out in the open. Well, that was a brave shot from Terry Griffiths under the circumstances. That is the only possible position he could have brought the cue ball to leave himself a pot on the yellow. And this is a very big shot coming up. Well, he managed to negotiate the yellow, but the green will only just go past the blue into the corner pocket. Requires a good shot. And that's a long way off.
For Teddy Griffiths.
A little bit of tension creeping in there.
Doug Mountjoy 70, Teddy Griffiths 53.
So just 17 points in the frame now, with 25 points left on the table. Doug Mountjoy now requiring the green and brown to make Terry Griffiths once again need snookers.
Well, the white's safe, but a chance for the green. The only problem here, the cue ball will be coming away from the brown should he, in fact, pot this. And I wonder what Doug Mountjoy is thinking at this moment. There's no way Terry Griffiths will be potting the brown from this position. In fact, he can only just make contact with half of the brown. So he'll be wanting to get that cue ball as safe as possible.
Three, Terry Griffiths.
Well, he didn't
Doug
quite
Mountjoy,
hit it hard
72,
enough.
Terry Griffiths, 56.
Well, it's a half chance.
14 points in the frame at the moment, and should Doug Mountjoy knock this brown in, will mean that Terry Griffiths can now only draw. So that cue ball coming nicely onto the blue, so this surely must be end of frame, end of match. And what a titanic struggle this frame has been. So Doug Mountjoy eventually knocks in the last couple of colours, and Terry Griffiths is out of the 1983 Lada Snooker Classic.
Many congratulations, Doug.
Thank you, Dickie.
You were 40-1 outsider before this match. You certainly played and belied those odds tonight, didn't you?
Well, I didn't know I was 40-1 in actual fact, but I have been playing bad, you know. Start of the season, I went a number of tournaments without winning a match. So obviously, started to sort of creep down the ladder, so to speak. But I'm very pleased I played Terry in the first rounds, you know, because I know he's a slow starter. So very pleased to win.
It's last February, was it, that you played each other?
That's right, yeah.
And you beat him then, too?
I did, 9-8.
That was in the World Championships?
Yes. Must be his bogey, you know.
But you were cueing so confidently, though. I mean, you say you've had an indifferent patch, but you really played so confidently today.
Well, I've been playing so well in practice, you know, but I haven't been doing it in the matches, you know. So I'm sort of getting my confidence from the way I'm playing in practice.
Terry said you were a slow starter. Was it just that at the beginning, or you seemed unhappy with your game completely?
I never really got started tonight, no. Doug played very well, and I never sort of got into the balls properly, and if you can't settle, you know, I had my chances, you know, in the early frames, but if you don't settle down, it gets difficult, and of course he keeps spotting the ball. He's a bit of a nuisance, really. You know? I don't know why I brought him along here, but he played very well, to be fair.
And in fact, you won the frame before the interval, and quite often that can cause a complete turnaround as far as form is concerned. What were you thinking to yourself at that break? That he was coming back?
I should have won that frame in actual fact.
Yeah.
I fell down on an easy shot. A black, I believe, 2 reds on the table. And everything goes through your mind, you know. 3-1, well, he can come back from 3-1 if he can win the first after the break. But thankfully, I won that one. Put pressure on Terry.
We don't see too many batsmen out in Australia, anywhere else, walking when they think they're out. But certainly you admitted that push shot in the 5th frame, Terry.
Yes, well, I'd hit the ball twice, and that was it. You know? I mean, you don't really want to win at all costs. I mean, irrespective of who you're playing against, if you foul, you should walk off the table. I think all the professionals do that, really. It makes the referees' job a lot easier because they've had a lot of stick lately. and it does help them along when they know that you do declare fouls in yourself. But it wasn't the foul strokes that cost me the games. The balls I missed.
Certainly.
Wish I could have parted it.
Yeah. Well, the crowd appreciated your gesture anyway.
Well, if I could have won, I could have bought a new tie as well.
You look well without it anyway. Well, in the quarterfinals, it's going to be either Alex Higgins, the world champion, or Bill Webernyuk.
Whichever. I think, you know, it's helped me that I've finally got through the first round, so I don't care who it is.
Good. £3,000 in your pocket for sure. Congratulations. Well done. Thank you very much indeed, Terry.
Okay.
So the defending champion out, and the odds on Doug Mountjoy must shorten considerably. Now, tomorrow afternoon's match sees Davies